Hey there. If you are a small business owner looking to grow your brand, increase your visibility, but you don't have a huge team, you don't have a huge following, you don't have a publicist, and you don't have a bunch of money to spend on paid ads, PR might actually be your secret weapon and a great way to get your business in front of the right people. So today I'm walking you through DIY PR strategies that actually worked. They're tried and true. I've used them myself. My business partner, Lydia, who's been a publicist for a decade, has been using them herself for the last decade, and we're just going to share it all with you here. So if you've ever wanted to learn how to pitch local media, digital outlets, print magazines, digital magazines, and to really get people talking about your brand, you're in the right place. And if you're new here, my name is Bridget Aileen Cisco. I'm the co-founder of Visibility on Purpose. We are a company helping small business owners, product brands, and founders get featured in top-tier media, TV interviews, as well as podcasts, and doing it all yourself. Now, if you hear the word PR and you go, does that mean press releases? That's not what it means. PR stands for public relations. I've done an entire video on press releases, so you can just click here if you'd like to learn more about that. But PR is all about getting other people to talk about your brand. It's amazing when you have these like quote unquote third-party endorsements. We love to say that. It's when you can be featured on another magazine or in front of another audience. That way it expands your reach beyond just your existing community, your existing email list, like your people. And as a business, we always want to get in front of new people and new leads. And this is one of the ways that you can do it without having a huge budget. Now, many years ago, I used to work at Yelp in New York City, and that company really thrives on those like third-party endorsements in the form of referrals and word of mouth marketing. Like that has always been tried and true. And it's always about other people talking about your business, other people saying why you're a trusted source, why you're a valuable business, that they love your business and they love your brand. So it's all about not you hyping yourself up, although of course you think your business is like the bee's knees, of course. Not really an advertisement, right? That's usually paid for. And that does happen all the time in the PR world. There are paid media placements. So it's important to understand that you don't need to pay. You can, but you don't need to. But really someone else talking about your brand, whether it's a blogger, whether it's a journalist, a podcast host, even a local influencer saying like, hey, I love this brand. I love this company. They are worth paying attention to. And Yelp back in the day, I mean, Google reviews as well, was kind of like one of the first ways that I understood this for myself of, oh, it's really cool and really, really valuable when another person talks about why they trust your brand. Now, as a reminder, unlike paid ads, PR lives on forever. So articles show up on Google, you can be found now like ChatGPT. We did a whole video on ChatGPT as well. So that could be part of it too. Podcast interviews that keep getting downloads for years and years and years. Even online magazines, whether it's local or a bigger magazine, that stays on the internet really forever. So this is where that can be super important. And even magazine features, like those things could be clipped for years and hung up in local businesses. And always your relationship with local business owners, we know relationships are so important, and those relationships go a long way, whether it's you just introducing yourself for the first time and then maybe you end up doing an event together later on down the road. But these things do last a long time and can be really helpful for your business. Now, let's start a little bit with local PR. I have done a full video on local PR strategies for small businesses, so you could just click here and watch that entire video if you need a little bit of a deeper dive. If you are a small business and you've never tapped into your local market and it's important for you to be in front of your local people, well, local PR is absolutely an option for you, and it's a great way to get started. There's sometimes less competition because you're not going against all of the other like dentists across the country for a magazine article. I also found like personally that editors at local magazines, they do love supporting local stories because it is really important for the local community to know what's going on. And if you're part of that infrastructure and that ecosystem in your local community, hey, let the magazine editor know what you're up to, especially if it has a broad appeal for the community at large. And that deeper video I've done is going to explain that a little bit better, so make sure you watch that. Here are some examples of where you can pitch locally. Local magazines, there's usually a print and digital edition. So digital is going to be great for that longevity of your business. When someone Googles, that magazine article might come up. There's also print magazines. As I mentioned in that video I've previously done, sometimes this can get into into the advertising space as well, because some magazines are going to want you to pay for a placement, but there's also editors who will write about you at no charge at all. Beyond local magazines, there's also more regional magazines. So something that maybe spreads across not just your town, but maybe your county or like your part of the state. You can look into that. Just Google it. Local radio or morning shows, reach out to them, let them know you exist, let them know you have something going on with the reminder that it has to appeal to their audience. And then you can think about community blogs, newsletters, even Facebook groups, and you can go into more of that local influencer strategy using social media, connecting with other business owners online, maybe doing Instagram Live together, just kind of getting to know some of those local influencers because, of course, they have a really, really big reach in their community, but sometimes that might be paid. Now, for instance, if I was launching an eco-friendly like product line for moms in my local area, I would reach out to a magazine and let them know, hey, like I'm a local mom, I'm doing this. This is why it's important for your audience. And you always have to be driving that fact home. Like, why does this matter for their people? Because they're not going to write about it. And like, that's the truth, right? They're not going to write about it if this has no appeal to their audience, because magazines and media companies, whether it's TV, radio, print, podcast, they're always thinking about their audience in mind. So you have to figure out, how is my brand, how is my story, how is my mission part of that equation? Inside our DIY course, we have a kind of breakdown of this. I call it the value intersection, where you can figure out how to position your brand for exactly what the media wants. Let's shift into digital press and getting featured online. Getting featured online is really, really crucial for your Google presence. Now, you might already work with an SEO company, and we've done interviews with SEO experts on here, and they always recommend doing PR and SEO kind of in tandem, because the idea with online digital media is that that's going to potentially link to your website. So say you're featured in Mind Body Green talking about your eco-friendly product line or, whatever it might be, they're likely going to link to your website. And because a platform and a company like Mind Body Green is highly trafficked, potentially, I don't have the numbers on me, but potentially millions of viewers on that site on a monthly basis, that links to your website, which boosts your ability to be seen on Google, which is the exact goal. So some things you can think about with digital press, you can think about gift guides on blogs or websites. Those are really good for product brands. You can think about online magazines like Mind Body Green, like Bustle, like Well and Good. There's a bunch of different magazines that have different kind of categories. So depending on where your business fits into those categories, you can reach out to those writers at those magazines. There are roundups like 10 women-owned brands to know, or founders changing X, Y, and Z industry, Medium articles. Sometimes roundups are paid, so just kind of be aware of that if you are not looking to pay for something. Although Medium articles are always free. We have a whole guide on that in our DIY course. There are podcasts with niche audiences, and podcasts are so, so great for the niche businesses. If you own, right, again, this eco-friendly product line, or you're a plumber and you want to kind of be seen as like an expert in your industry, you want to go to industry conferences, maybe you're looking to build a personal brand as a plumber, who knows? Who knows? I think you can, right? Podcasts are great for that. And many podcasts interview people at absolutely no cost, and it's all about that value exchange. There's also Q&A style interviews online, like on Canvas Rebel, Shout Out Social, Medium, as I mentioned, where you can answer questions and again have that online article about you. So something that you could probably Google here is go onto Google, type in like bustle.com plus gift guide and like your niche to just find examples of gift guides and who wrote them, because that's going to be the person that you're going to reach out to. Then you can send your email pitch. We have templates in the course if you need a deeper dive on that. I've done videos on that as well. You'll send your pitch, let them know that you exist, let them know that how you could provide value for potential future articles. You're getting yourself on their radar. Let's touch on print media now. A lot of people think print is dead, and while absolutely this has changed a lot, print magazines still exist. Like if you go down the street of New York City, you're still going to see those like corner magazine vendors, and they have all the magazines. They have People, they have Forbes, they have the magazines. So even though you think print is dead, it is not. It's just a little bit more curated. And yeah, I do believe many companies have had to cut cost here, but getting in print now looks so impressive. It's like that is now the luxury. So you can think lifestyle and wellness magazines, trade publications for your industry, beauty, design, food, local services. There's also the local editions of national titles. Here's a kind of insight on what print editors love. It's going to be seasonal tie-ins because the way that they're thinking about the editorial calendar are they are writing things based on what people want to know at specific times. So think about Christmas or holidays, like that magazine in November, December is going to talk a lot about that season. So how does your business tie into that? How does your eco product line tie into what people would want during that time of year? Again, think strategically. Do not just say, hey, interview me, interview me. No, you need to have something very specific that helps this writer at a magazine want to interview you. You can also think about founder stories in print media. You can think about beautiful product photography. You can think about mission-driven brands depending on the outlet. And here's an example of a story that you might pitch. It's like back to school, around September, that kind of content goes out. So you want to be thinking in advance there. You want to be thinking like July, definitely, of introducing yourself. And maybe you're a mom-founded brand and you bring like clean, affirming kids products to the organic market for school. Because now more and more people are realizing, oh, what we put in our body, on our skin, on our face, on our kids matters. And you created a brand to help bridge that gap. And you need to introduce yourself to that staff writer or that freelance writer at that print magazine. As a reminder, print loves its timely, even like a visual, beautiful story because they need to be thinking about what looks good. Print loves timely, relevant, newsworthy information. Now, a couple of things before you pitch here. Before you pitch, you want to have the basics, strong brand bio, like know what you do, make sure it doesn't sound like anyone else's business, high quality product photos, especially if you're a product brand, have a high quality headshot if you are really more founder facing. You want to have a short why about your business to be able to understand like what is that story? Website, social links, they should be extremely clean looking. Reminder, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to have a clear, compelling, consistent pitch to that writer, to that podcast host, to that local person in your community, to the influencer on social media. We need to have these things before we send anything. And if you don't want to figure it out all alone, we have our personalized PR plan where you basically tell us everything about your business. You tell us some of your goals, and we are going to send you a pitch. We're going to send you kind of our strategy. Like if we were your publicist, here's what we would do. You can find more information about that below. And just in closing, as a reminder, PR is all about getting people to talk about your brand. Small businesses have a huge advantage here when it comes to digital, local, print media. And I feel like part of the advantage is you're just scrappier. Like big companies have big budgets. They're going to pay more for like advertising placements when it comes to PR. They're also going to do free, but you have an advantage because you're scrappy and you're going to send those emails and you're going to find the right people. And just recently, we interviewed an incredible Dr. Ashley Lerman on our channel. She called the CEO of an insurance company. Like, I know if you're listening to this, you're also scrappy and you're going to figure out a way to make sure that people know more about your business because you didn't start your business for no one to know about it. Thanks for being here. As a reminder, with PR, you don't need a huge following. You don't need a huge budget. You do need some time. You need some grit. You need some scrappiness, and you just need to know the right strategy to reach out to the right people to get your business on the map. If you like videos like this, please like, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you soon.